crazy face when you look at it, mostly because it looks cool. That's the Amazon special. Yep. Like, oh, is it worth it? So it's a moment
This one is so cool.
Yeah, 10 horsepower right there. Dunk. That's it. Yes. Thank you.
今日好高興咧，喺大黑啦撞到 Albo 啦。咁我哋作為香港嘅 fans 咧，想同 Albo 傾幾句嘅。
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Albo. I'm Canadian YouTuber living here in Japan. I make documentaries about Japanese underground car culture and vlogs about my daily life. It's kind of mixing the two of those together, and that's what you'll find on my channel. I've been living here in Japan for 12 years now, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make a life here. And it's been a crazy journey so far. I think I'm really privileged to be able to live here and experience everything that I'm able to experience on a weekly basis, seeing all these different facets of Japanese car culture. And from having the perspective of living here 10 years, I feel like I'm privileged enough to see it from a different perspective than somebody who just comes to visit here, for example. And also even compared to Japanese people who can only see it through the lens of a Japanese person. So I've had the amazing fortune of being able to live here, and I think I make videos because I want to be able to give back to the community and to just the car culture at large, to show what it really is like here, living in Japan, and what the car culture is really like.
And sharing your daily lifestyle, car stuff?
Yeah, you know, I think what happened is at the beginning, I was really just more of a sociologist, a documentarian. I was looking from the outside looking in, and I was interested in this group of people who were doing this interesting thing that I couldn't understand myself. I was like, why are they spending so much money on their cars, taking to the track, wrecking their cars? Like, what is the point? But then I got my own car, I started going out for drives, I started going to toge, taking to the track, and I little by little came to understand why this is such an amazing and fulfilling and fun hobby, and I got really, really into it myself. Now it's just an inseparable part of my life.
Cars or drugs?
Oh yeah,
modifying cars or drugs?
It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, modifying cars is definitely an addiction.
So you're a car guy since childhood, right?
Well, I was a car guy really since childhood because I used to live in Saudi Arabia, and when I was like 0 to 10 years old, I lived in Saudi Arabia, and one of my only connections to the Western world was my dad's Motor Trend and Road Track magazines. And I was fascinated by cars from like that age. And then when I came to live in Canada, when I moved to Canada, when I was around 10 years old, I was 10 years old, in Vancouver, there was the import scene of the very early 2000s with like crazy modified Civics and modified, Integras, and I thought that was really, really, really cool. But I never had money growing up. My parents were struggling to make ends meet, moving to Canada. It wasn't always easy for us growing up financially. So I thought maybe it was only something I'll see in Initial D and in the Fast and Furious, in the movies and on TV. My first car that I personally owned when I came to Japan was a black NA Miata. I drove that for a few years, I think 3 or 4 years, and then I sold it and bought a yellow NA Miata. And actually my dream car was always a yellow S2000. So in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, one day, maybe I can get an S2000. Sadly, the yellow Miata was crashed when an old lady hit me.
Yeah.
And after that happened, I thought, okay, this is the time to take that next step, and so I bought the S2000.
That was the video I started watching your videos.
Really?
Yeah. Really sad moment.
It's kind of a sad, bittersweet video, right?
Yeah.
I still think about it. I miss that Miata a lot.
So will you own another one?
I actually do own another one. I have a green NB. It just doesn't have any shaken on it right now, and it needs a bunch of work done to it. So I'm kind of like hiding it until it's ready to be revealed. I'm just working on it like little by little.
Is that secrets or something?
It's not that big of a secret, but it's my life is kind of busy right now, so I don't have too much time to work on it. And I was focusing on the S2000 for a long time, so I thought maybe next year I'll focus on it. And that car was actually given to me for free, so That's why I'm kind of taking my time. Old videos, you'll see it because it was actually driven by one of my best friends, Dan, who also used to be a teacher on the JET program like I was when I came to Japan. And when he moved to Tokyo, he didn't want to keep the car, so he basically just gave it to me. So I bought this car, when was it? April 2020, and it was right before the price of all GT cars just went up like crazy. So I was lucky enough to get this car for 2.3 million yen, and it is a year 2000 AP1 110 model AP1 S2000. But at the status, like at a state right now, I don't know if you could still call it an S2000 because it's been quite heavily modified, at least, you know, appearance-wise.
Tastefully modded S2000, maybe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think for some people it's a bit too much, but for me personally, I think it's right at that limit. And I was really careful to choose parts that were high quality and that I thought would be, you know, worth the price and worth removing some of that essence of the original S2000 design. So I was really looking for the parts that I felt could flow well.
I kind of appreciate it because you like to mix and match all the body kits up. Not only just J's, put it on it, or Mugen or Spoon. You mix and match it. It's pretty good.
Thank you. To be honest, like I feel like a full Spoon build is like a full S-Tie S2000 is like super cool. Full ASM build is super cool. Even a full J's racing build, they're all like super cool. They have like this distinct identity and personality. I think for me, it's because I really like all these different styles and different builds, and I kind of wanted to see if I could pull it together and to make something that was a little bit original and a little bit kind of like my own taste. And I personally think it's coming along, but definitely for some people it's too much. So here in the front, this is Spoon's, I guess you could say, famous.
The iconic one.
Yes, the iconic S-Type bumper. It's got a really crazy face when you look at it. It's got these two fog lights in the front.
Yeah, I love it. Like just like Le Mans style.
Yeah. It's a very aggressive design. What I really like is how the fog light has an integrated brake duct.
Yeah.
And on the front here as well, there is a duct for the air, the snorkel. One of the, I guess, more personalized touches is this splitter. So this is a custom one-off splitter, which is,
I see.
Yeah, and what
Full
else?
Carbon, right?
So actually, no, the splitter's not carbon. It's aluminum composite board. And well, to be honest, I wasn't sure if I could run a splitter without breaking it. So I made this, or had this made. It's a one-off, and it's basically ACB that you can buy at the hardware store. It's really strong. It's really light. It's and then I just wrapped it in carbon wrap. And what else? Okay, next part. The headlights are AP2 headlights, I feel like that really makes the AP1 design look a lot more modern.
More modest, I think.
It's got more of like a sleek look, I think.
Look, yes.
Yeah, definitely some people prefer like that old school AP1 look, but for me, I really like the dual projector look. The hood is Verus. So yeah, this is the Verus cooling bonnet, and it's got an interesting design with a really big hood bump over here. There's actually there's a rain guard. So right now the rain guard is installed on here, and here.
Yeah.
To prevent the rain from getting in. I actually should have taken it off before I came here so you guys could see, but I'll open it up later so you guys can take a look at the engine bay. Actually, why don't we do that right now?
Okay.
Over here.
The quality of the carbon is so nice.
Yeah, Verus makes really nice stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with this hood, especially because not many S2000 owners actually choose the Verus hood. A lot of them choose like ASM or like Spoon or Mugen style or J's. So I thought it was really cool that I was still able to buy the Verus hood. So the engine bay is mostly stock, aside from the Spoon air filter, the Spoon air snorkel, and a Koyo radiator. I heat wrapped the airbox in gold foil, mostly because it looks cool. That's the main reason. It has a a Cusco strut bar in the front and in the back, which I don't think they make too much of a difference actually, because the chassis is already very, very rigid.
Rigid enough.
Yeah, it's super rigid.
Super rigid.
It probably just adds weight if anything, but it does look cool. And very important, you have to have the blue spoon sock.
Yeah.
This gives you about 10 horsepower right there. Yeah, it's very, very, very important. You can kind of see it here, but these coilovers, these are Öhlins DFE. So the air cups are actually made by a company called Stansparts.
Oh, just like the tank.
Yes, yeah. Because the air cups, the tank, and the compressor they came as a set. And the company that puts it together is a company called Stansparts. Honestly, the product is probably like kind of generic, and a lot of other companies will like sell it as like a kit. But the one I got was from Stansparts because they sponsored it for the car.
Is it from Japan or other country?
I think they're in the US, but I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
Yeah, they sound like US.
Yeah. I mean, Stansparts, right? I mean, I don't consider the car very Stansat at all. I think actually the air cups are very functional. Like, I can't feel any difference with them on or with them off, especially after I had the coilovers overhauled. So these were just overhauled last week, and there's a shop called ES Azure here in Japan, and they overhauled the Öhlins to something called Super Öhlins.
Super Öhlins.
Have you heard of it?
Never.
So
maybe we'll check it.
It's a cool shop. It's in Shizuoka, and Super Öhlins are kind of considered to be like one of the coolest mods that you can do if you're a track enthusiast, because they take the original Öhlins DFE coilovers and then they revalve them according to the spec that they've developed for 20 years.
Oh, I see.
So it's really nice. You can see that the front has a lot of camber to fit these tires and these wheels.
Yeah.
And I'm running
3 to 4.
Yes, it's about 3 degrees of camber with 𝐓𝐻𝐿 Formula upper arms and spoon lower, what is it called?
Lower arms?
Not lower arm, but it's a lower joint.
Lower joint.
Yeah, to push the from the bottom a little bit.
Knuckle, right.
I'm not sure. I forget if it's I forget exactly what it's called, but I think the spoon lower something joint.
Okay.
Lower camber joint. That's it. Lower camber joint. Yeah, it's a camber joint.
Just
and
like a roll adapter or something.
Yeah, it has a roll adapter built into it. And without that, like, I wouldn't be able to clear even the ASM fenders. But with this, I'm able to clear because these wheels are quite wide. These CE28s are 17.9 and 40 offset.
40 offset.
And the tires are 255/40.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So this square setup?
Yeah, right now it's a square setup.
Yeah.
And the wheel in the back is actually 9.5J. And so the front is a Muse spec, and I'm not sure what the rear is, but it's a little bit fatter than the front. But they are running 255/40 R17 on both the front and the back. And you can see it's running like really, really sticky like track tires, AO50.
AO50, yes.
So I actually bought these wheels like with this tire setup, intending it to be like my track setup.
Yeah.
And I couldn't use them for like a year because I just bought them, but I couldn't fit them without the fenders. And that brings us to the fenders, I guess. So these are ASM front fenders. This part over here has been...
This one is so sleek.
I really like this design. It's actually carbon fiber skinned, so it's now wet carbon. So it's not like a wrap. It was actually, they take like real carbon fiber, they lay it over, and they vacuum seal it so that it actually molds with the FRP. What else?
The side skirt?
Yeah, these are downforce side skirts. These are the
side skirt.
Yep, from the US.
Okay.
And then these are also the OEM S2000 side spats.
Side spats.
Yeah. Over here you can see like it barely clears.
You rolled it, right?
Yeah. I rolled it. I rolled it, and then I cut the bumper here. And then you have to relocate the bumper tab as well so it doesn't hit the tire. There was so much work involved in this. It was crazy. But if you want to get like that sick fitment, it's
I know that. Yeah. I'm a stance guy.
Yeah, it's you're like, as you're cutting and as you're like you're pulling and you're rolling, you're like, oh, is it worth it? Especially the rear fender, right?
Yeah,
because you can't go back from the rear fender. But at least I didn't go full over fender. So for me, I really wanted to keep the original fender look.
For me, I own a Altessa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What kind of wheels in front? Works? Or
Works T7Rs.
Nice. Yeah.
And for the rear, the ABS VS5.
Nice.
This one.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice look.
Old
school, yeah.
Old school guy.
Same here. That's why I love these wheels. These C28s.
Yeah.
It's especially the bronze. It's a really classic look, right?
For me, it's better than T36.
To be honest, me too. I'm more of a C28 kind of guy.
Yeah.
T37s, they're a little bit more like, you know what they're like? They're like the Air Force Ones of
No.
of
In this
or Yeezys or something, you know?
No Yeezys. Dunk.
That's it. Yes. Thank you. Correct. Absolutely correct. Let's see. Okay, moving back to the back here.
Is it a stock spoiler?
So yes, this spoiler is stock. It's the stock AP1 modulo lip, as well as the front spat or the rear spats. And let's see if you can guess like which is the bumper.
I remember it's ASMs.
Yeah. ASM bumper. Mugen exhaust.
This. What is this called?
So that's the Amazon special. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I bought like a whole bunch of them from Amazon. And I was like, oh, this is garbage. This is garbage. I was fully expecting them all to be garbage, but this one fit really well. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put it on there.
Let's skip it.
Yeah, I actually really like it. It looks, it really flows with this, right?
Yeah.
With the front
And with the front lip. Yeah. And Jay's Racing spoiler.
Yeah, so there's a Jay's Racing spoiler, and I've attached a super cheap LED, $30 LED to the back.
Wow.
So
I don't even know it exists.
yeah, me neither. I just like Googled it, or I searched it on Amazon, and I found it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is probably gonna look really stupid. I was 90% sure it's gonna look really bad. Then when I put it on it, I was like, oh, it actually looks pretty cool, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. But if you can make it longer,
yeah.
across the whole spoiler,
that's my plan.
better.
I'm trying to find like a longer one, or just use like a different LED strip and just like make it run all the way to the end. I think that would look really cool. And what else? The hardtop is OEM. So it's an OEM S2000 hardtop.
Oh, okay. OEM hardtop.
Yeah. It's been repainted, so there's like metal flake from the previous owner. And
Is it rare or something? I've never seen OEM one.
It's
mainly Mugens or something like that.
It's quite rare. Yeah. It's quite rare, so it was quite expensive to pick up the hardtop. You know, in the States, these are like $7,000 now.
What the hell?
So it's crazy. So when I saw this pop up for like Yonjuman, which is 400,000 yen, I was like, it's expensive, but it's not gonna go down in value. So yeah,
worth keeping it, I think.
Yeah. It's like a Bitcoin that you can put on your car. Let's look at the interior.
Honda Park's Bitcoin.
Yep.
Worth a lot.
So the interior, I did a full AP2 swap, which is pretty much the door cards and the center console.
Yeah.
And this particular S2000 has the navigation cubby.
Oh, I see.
So not all of them have it. Maybe like 30% or something. But I put a CarPlay unit by Alpine, and it really modernizes the car. This wheel is ASM, so it's a moment tuner ASM.
This one is so cool.
Yeah, you can hold it.
Okay.
Feels nice, right?
Yeah.
It's like a nice. What I like is it's not super thick.
Yeah.
It's kind of thin, so it gives you that feeling of like very lightweight sports.
Just look like a NSX OEM one?
Actually, yeah, it looks
one.
exactly like the NSX OEM one. It's actually the exact setup as the NSX. In fact, this is an NSX-R horn button. So my wife got that for me for my birthday last year, and I was like, I can't justify spending $200 on a horn button, and I kept talking about it, so my wife just bought it for me. So
yeah. So is it legal to use this in Japan?
In Japan, it is. Yeah. Like a quick release, right?
We don't.
Yeah.
You should come to Hong Kong and check out the car culture.
I used to, when I was in high school, I think the girls I dated were like from Hong Kong, actually. And I love Hong Kong cinema, especially like Hong Kong action cinema.
Interesting.
I was really, really into Hong Kong cinema, like in between 2000 and 2007 or 2008 or something. Yeah.
It was the greatest period.
Yeah, it was. I was a big fan of Edison Chen before the scandal. But legend. He's a legend. Yeah. Anything else in his car? Oh yeah, the most important thing probably in the interior, honestly, is the seat.
Yeah.
This is a Recaro RSG.
RSG.
ASM edition, and makes the single biggest difference in the driving experience. It's like not even comparable. With this and without it, it's a completely different game.
So the ASM version has the Alcantara here, right?
Yeah, it's got like this ultra suede material.
Oh, just suede.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this one is this model has the black ASM kind of stealth letters.
This one.
Yeah. And for track use, I installed a 6-point harness. Took out a strict 6-point harness. It's actually not legal to use like on the street.
Okay.
So I only use it at the track. But yeah, it looks super cool.
But is it legal to put it here?
Yeah, it's legal to put it on the car, but
just
you
don't
shouldn't
use it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's not like they're not going to pull you over for using it. I don't think. It's not like they're going to pull over and be like, is that a 6-point harness that you're wearing right now?
Glad that you are in Japan.
Yeah. Living in Japan there's definitely pros and cons, but one of the big pros is being able to enjoy car culture a lot. Sure. Even just coming here, right? It's like a dream almost.
Come here for cars.
Yep. So, the Hunters, kind of the tagline is the worldwide thrill of the chase. So to me, it represents kind of like chasing your dreams and hunting for what you want, and not leaving things just a chance, but actually going for it and trying to create a good life for yourself. And so yeah, that's what the Hunters represents. So that's why I've got it on the banner and also my merch as well, the back as well. So yeah.
Start of 2023, any goals you want to achieve this year?
So this year, I think I would really so I just bought a house. So
congrats on that.
Thank you. And yeah, so we have all these blessings coming this year. I hope to be able to create like a good life for my future, for my family, and just keep doing what I'm doing. I think I want to take it to the next level, whatever that means. So maybe that means opening up a shop, which is one of my big dreams, and also just fully going full-time on YouTube and making a self-sustaining business out of it. So that's my dream.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. 好啦，咁啊，今日喺大黑同 Albo 嘅傾談啦，就咁多啦。咁我哋就會行灣岸一個圈嘅。Let's go.
行きましょう。Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
coolest part of this car is. Thank you. I forgot to tell you guys the coolest part of this car